I want to be the one that tells my story. I want to be the one that is in control of when I come out and how I come out. When you look at people like us, don't judge us. Don't look down on us, because we're only human just like you. My name is Krystle, and this is my story.
What made you decide to be a part of this docuseries?
Well, this docuseries is important to me because I want to tell my story, and a story from a female's perspective, and a lesbian perspective about the situation in the Bahamas, and also moving from the Bahamas to Canada. So that's why it's important for me to tell my story in this docuseries.
What made you choose the path that you chose in terms of how you decided to come to Canada, like that particular route?
Well, I chose that route because at that point it was the only option I had, and the only option that I knew at the time. There was no life for me left in the Bahamas. So when I heard about this situation and how I can live a better life here, I took the opportunity and I jumped to it, and here I am.
Was there a straw that broke the camel's back when you were back in the Bahamas? Like, was there one final thing that made you say, like, I can't deal with this anymore, I have to leave?
Well, back home, I've been out for a very long time. I've been dealing with the ups and downs of being a lesbian in Nassau, Bahamas. And at the age of 32, I realized that I can't do this anymore. Living in a society where it doesn't accept me for who I am. It doesn't accept me for my partner. I can't go out and I can't be who I want to be, because a lot of people think that it's easier for lesbians to live in the Bahamas. Oh, you have it good, you have it better than gay men. When in being real, being a masculine female, it's very difficult, because straight men are intimidated by you. So when you go out, you're always in fear, you're always scared. So I was like, you know what, I don't want to live this life anymore. I don't want to be afraid to go out with my partner, be afraid to go to any type of club, and a male is intimidated by me, feel some type of way, and wanna harm me or wanna harm my partner. So I was like, you know what, I'm too old for this. I've been going through this for so long. I've been accepting what society is giving me, which is the norm. Like, you have to live as a second-class citizen, being a gay or a lesbian person. So I was like, I want to live my life. So I said, you know what, I'm just going to give this up and move to somewhere that's more accepting, and somewhere that I can be myself.
A lot of people have a coming out story that is very dramatic and traumatic. How was your coming out experience?
Well, oh wow. My coming out story was, it wasn't dramatic, but it was basically forced upon me, because I was about 21. I just moved out of my mother's house. I told her, like, I'm gonna be independent. I was still in the closet. However, I wanted to move in my own place with a girl, because I wanted to have, you know, time with her. And so I moved out. I got an apartment with my girlfriend at the time, and she was someone that worked with me as well. And some persons had an idea at my workplace, but they didn't really know. But they saw me with her, and they had questions. So it was basically a manhunt from my co-workers. That's like, okay, she's gay. At the time, it was a popular site called Downlink. They would go on my page and like basically print out my information. I was like, you know what? I want to be the one that tells my story. I want to be the one that is in control of when I come out and how I come out. A lot of rumors was going around, and nothing was confirmed. I was like, you know what? I came out to my friends and I came out to my family. It's like, you know what? I like girls. This is who I'm with. We're living together, and it was like a weight was lifted off me. I was like so relieved. It's like I'm not living a fairy tale anymore, a life that is not my own. I'm living my truth now, and it felt so good. Although I was forced out, to me it was a blessing, because it forced me to be okay with myself and to admit that I am a lesbian, because I was in denial for a very long time. So I had to actually say, you know what, I'm attracted to females, and this is what I like, and I shouldn't be ashamed to do it. And I was about 21. So it's been a while.
How did your family take it?
Well, they always say that your family knows before you actually tell them. And at that point, I told my sister first, because my sister was always close. And she was like, well, we kind of know, you don't have any boyfriends and you're living with a girl, so it was kind of obvious to her. She's like, well, I know, you're my sister, I'm gonna love you regardless. It was kind of hard on my mom. She was hearing like rumors before I actually came out, but it was nothing confirmed. But when it was confirmed, she was upset for a while. It was like that thing that you never speak about, like it was never ever spoken about. And to the years, even now, she calls my girlfriends, oh, where's your friend, or how's your friend, and like what's your friend doing? Like, always a friend. Like, it's never said, well, how's your girlfriend or whatever. It's never spoken about when it comes to her. But I mean, they were okay with it. They were okay.
So you came as a refugee.
Yes.
Right? And there are a lot of people that think that process is easier than it is. What types of challenges did you face being a new immigrant here in Canada?
The biggest challenge was when you come to a new country, like anywhere in the world, you're new, you don't know anything about the country, you don't know like how to maneuver, like what's your first step. My biggest issue was just learning how to live in a new environment, learning to adapt, and finding housing, finding a job. That was my biggest issue here, because from the age of 17 I've always had a job. So when I came here, finding housing and finding a job was very difficult for me. That really stressed me out a lot. Like, me not having a job, that really stressed me out a lot. So I would tell people that prepare yourself to be out of your comfort zone. I had a good job back home. I was very secure. I had my own apartment, my own car. And when you come here, you uproot your whole life, just start over. And you have to be prepared for that. Like, you have to be prepared for not knowing when you're gonna sleep, not knowing if you're gonna have a job. So, and everybody has different experiences, and what you may feel difficult, what is difficult for you may not be difficult for me, but they're gonna be a lot of things that you're not used to. So come prepared for that if you make that decision.
Do you have any regrets about moving to Canada?
No. Well, the only regret I have is not moving here sooner, because I love living in Canada. I love it. Although I experienced hard times in the beginning, it made me stronger. It made me come out of my comfort zone, and that for me made me a new person, and I don't regret it at all. Like, I love it here. The people, you have the one-offs, like the people that, you know, are one-offs, but I love living in Canada. I love it, and I would never regret that decision.
Do you have any advice for the younger people in the LGBTQ community? The younger generation?
The advice I have for the younger generation: listen, take heed to what people are saying to you who've experienced what you have not yet experienced. Watch your surroundings, make right decisions, make smart decisions. Even though it may not seem like it's right at the time, you may feel like, oh, they're just telling me something that they feel like I should know or whatever. But listen and make right decisions when it comes to you and your future. Many people are not there to give you advice just to harm you. You have some people out there that don't have your best interest at hand, but most people that are giving you advice have your best interest at hand. If I was 18 years old, 19 years old, and I had to give myself advice, I would give myself that advice. Listen, because when we're young, we feel like we know everything and we could do anything. We're invincible. But listen to what your elders or whoever's older than you, who've ever experienced certain things, are telling you, because they've been there and they've done it.
Is there anything that happened to you after moving here that you've never told anyone about? No. I don't think so. Unless I was drunk and I don't remember. I don't know. But no, nothing's happened to me being here since I came here. No. What's your response to people that say your lifestyle, being a lesbian, is a choice? What's your response to that?
My response whenever I hear that is it's so stupid to me, because if was being straight a choice, I fought for many years because I didn't want to be gay. I didn't want to be a lesbian. I wanted to be straight. I wanted to have a husband. I wanted to have children. I wanted this fairy tale life that I was brought up to believe is right. So for me, it was never a choice for me, because I've always tried to be straight, but I've always been attracted to girls. It's not a choice, it's what you feel. It's a natural feeling. If I could have chosen this, not saying that I love being a lesbian, but back then if I had to choose, I would have chosen to be straight, because that's what I thought was right. That's what I thought what I needed to be. I wanted to be it so bad. So it's not a choice. If I wanted to choose, I could have been that and been happy. But when I went that route, and when I had boyfriends, I did have boyfriends in the past, it never felt right. I never was happy. It was never something that I wanted. So I chose to be straight, but I was never straight. So it's not a choice. It's how you feel. And I can't help how I feel.
What does the term "people like us" mean to you?
People like us. Listen to me. There's no other people like us. Like, people like us mean happy. People like us means joyful. People like us mean the life of the party to me. The people like us mean people who relate to me, people who go through the same experience as me, people who know what it is to be me. And people like us could never be people like you, because you've never experienced what we went through, and you don't know how it is to be the way that we are. So people like us are family to me.
Is there anything else that you would like to say or that you feel is important to say?
Okay, I'm doing this documentary to enlighten people of different backgrounds, different beliefs, different outlook on life, that we are all human beings. There's only one race on this planet, and it's the human race. We all love different, we all look different. We have different cultures, we have different backgrounds, but at the end of the day, we all bleed the same color blood. We all need food for nourishment, we all need water. We all, at the end of the day, die. So I want you to take out from this documentary that we're no different from anybody else on this planet. We all love the same. We all feel pain. We feel love. We feel joy. We're no different than anybody else. So try to understand from a different perspective, from a different outlook, that we may love different, but we're all the same. And do not judge me or anybody else just because of my sexual orientation, because that doesn't define me. That's not who I am. It's a part of me and it's important to me, but it's not me. So when you look at people like us, don't judge us. Don't look down on us, because we're only human just like you.
I think
that's how I feel.
The audience has some questions for you as
well.
well.
Sorry. Like, I feel, okay, when you I think you mentioned the young LGBT.
Yeah, you are.
I feel what I mean, take heed is as listen, because your elders, straight or gay, any wise person, anybody who's been through what you've been through, can give you advice. They don't have to be gay, they don't have to be straight, but just listen to all the folks who's been the way you've been.
Okay, but I want you to break it down, because what if, like, you're saying listen to them, but what are they telling them not to beat themselves? And
well, okay, I like I said before, some people don't have your best interest at hand, and that's where you have to use wisdom to filter out and understand where good advice is coming from, or where someone's just trying to depress who you are. If someone's telling you something that's positive, take that in and say, okay, I can learn from this, and I can move forward from this. You have to filter it out. Okay, growing up in a society that we've grown up in the Bahamas, a Christian nation, most of us are taught that the relationship is a girl, a guy, you get married, you have a family. Anything other than that is wrong. Like, you're going to hell, and that's just wrong. So when I was young, you want to please your parents, you want to please your family. You want to fit in with society and not be judged and not be looked at as negative. So when I said I want to be straight, or I want to have my family and a husband, I was fighting the feelings that I had within me for females and going against them, because I want to please everybody else. So I wanted the husband, I wanted the life that I thought was right, that I thought that I wanted at the time, knowing that I didn't want it. So I was willing to be miserable just to please other people. So that's what I meant when I said that, because we're only human just like you.
People like us, the people like us. Hey.